All right.
And it's rolling. And speak so I know you're working.
Hi, live!
Tom has a giant waveform. So. Oh, man. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
All over. Contains strong language, strong opinions, and strong beers. It is not meant for children or for those who think they are children. You know who you are.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Welcome to episode 100 of Dumb All Over. Recording from how the fuck did we make it to 100 episodes, Pennsylvania. This is a progressive podcast with brash opinions on politics, religion, and pop culture. And we're always under the influence of craft beer.
It's actually true today.
Sort of. On this week's episode, we will talk about the Trump charity, Tucker Carlson, Martha McSally, and a new species of animal named after Donald Trump, by the way. To end the 2018 campaign, we will answer your questions on Twitter. And finally, we will reminisce.
With people we don't know.
Well, that's I was talking about our own show.
Okay, yeah.
In the first episode and all that. As always, I am Tom. Join that's with me across the room. In the seat across the table.
For the 100th time.
For the 100th time is the one and the only Thomas Smith. Everybody! No, not Thomas Smith. It's Austin.
Oh.
Hi,
wow.
Austin.
All right, so after 100 episodes, I'm taking new applications for co-host, but serious inquiries only, guys.
All right, forewarning, I'm drunk as fuck right now.
Drunk as a skunk.
And I think you might be too.
I'm not as drunk as you are,
I'm
but
very
yes,
drunk.
I'm starting to feel it, yeah.
I'm very drunk, and the episode has just begun.
Hashtag feel the burn.
Feel
right.
the burn, and feel the alcoholism.
Woo!
It's
drunk
great.
2020.
It's great. Drunk 2020 with the vice president alcohol. Austin, what am I drinking? You made this for me, so what is this?
Excuse me, sir. Vice President alcohol. So, Tom.
Yeah, hi. What am I drinking, Austin?
Tom is drinking what I like to call a bastard White Russian.
Okay.
See, the thing is, we don't have any Kahlua here, but we have espresso tequila, which, you know, if you know me, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it does.
So it's espresso tequila.
Yeah.
Made by the Avion company.
Avion? Like the birds?
No. And not like the company that makes all like the bath oils and stuff either. It's a different Avion.
Okay.
It's not Evian, it's Avion with an A.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant aerodynamics.
No. So yeah,
What?
it's Avion's espresso tequila, and then vodka,
Yeah.
and then half and half.
By the way,
So it's a bastard White Russian.
this is my first of these, but I've also had other stuff beforehand.
Well, we've done a lot of interviews today
We
that
have.
are going to be what populates this channel in
Yes.
between now and when we actually come back.
Yeah, and I haven't had a drink in like a month, so it hit
Tom
me
is-
like
yeah.
a brick.
Yeah.
What are you
House.
drinking?
Okay, so
Okay, awesome.
since I keep the theme around here,
Mm-hmm.
I am drinking none other than maybe my
Weyerbacher.
favorite beer
Oh yeah,
of all time.
Oh yeah,
Well, I think we actually might have drank my favorite beer earlier today during the interviews.
the Imperial Pumpkin
Yeah.
Ale. Yeah.
But my second favorite is Weyerbacher's Sunday Morning Stout.
Ooh,
So stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee.
with coffee.
Now this year,
Yeah.
it was okay. So let me tell you a little backstory.
Go ahead, tell us a little bit about this.
Okay. So this is the 100th episode, so I can do whatever I want.
It is, we pretty
And
much
Tom's
been doing
drunk,
that.
so he can't even speak.
I have no what's going on.
So originally, when this was brewed, this was about an 11.1% beer.
That's all?
And exactly, that's high,
That's
right?
pretty
Yeah.
pathetic, actually.
Well, Weyerbacher's like, no, das ist nicht gut. I imagine they're German.
I would imagine what the name like. Weyerbacher!
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And so this year they decided to make it a 12.7%.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, beer.
So
this is a stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee, 12.7% alcohol by volume.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And unlike some of the other craft beer companies, they don't write like a very sensual description.
No? No, they don't. They really don't. They don't.
They're not like caressed by the
No.
the presence of coffee
Not at all.
in a deep, thick stout.
So let me say this, Austin. For the 100th time,
Yeah.
cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers. And we got to do a real one.
A real one.
Yeah.
By the way, we're in studio.
Yeah.
If I didn't mention
In the
that.
Reach Around Studio.
Yes, reach around studio. Is that where we're settled?
No, we never settled on it.
I'm good with that, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because once you put the cream in it, it kind of takes away from the alcohol. I know
think.
the alcohol's in there, but
Yeah, you think it takes away from
it's
you.
very good. It tastes like a cold coffee.
Yeah. So, I mean, anybody who's had a White Russian knows how good they are.
It's
And
pretty
this
good.
is a variation on that.
I've never had a White Russian. This is the first
Oh.
time. First time.
Well, if you come back after Christmas, we'll have Kahlua, and then you can
Oh, I've
try.
had that. I had that last year.
Well, Kahlua, it's really supposed to be made with Kahlua instead of the espresso tequila.
Are you guys making the eggnog? The
Yes.
Puerto Rican eggnog?
Yep.
That-
the coquito's being
The
made as we
coquito.
speak,
Yeah,
I think.
loved that.
Yeah.
That was so good.
So that's what we had last year, but I didn't want to do a repeat of
I
the
gotcha.
same thing.
I
So.
gotcha. Yeah. Why would you want something good twice in a row? I gotcha.
Well,
This is good, by the way.
Well, let's be honest. Though the reason we don't have any is because we drank it. Because there was some made. I had some when I got home.
There you go.
Yeah.
And how's your Sunday morning?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Is it?
I mean, Weyerbacher really.
Are you
outdid
upset that
themselves.
you're drinking it on a Thursday?
No,
Okay, good.
it's an every morning stuff.
Very good. It's everyday morning stout. Austin,
Well, we've delayed it long enough, so I guess
100 episodes.
100 episodes. Yeah.
This is our 100th episode.
I know. I can't believe. Well, it's not that hard to believe.
Really?
We've been
Think
friends
this-
for
A long time.
a long time. Yeah.
I think since
the
like
fact that we just recorded our conversations
8th or
really
9th
doesn't make it.
Yeah, I guess so. We've been having the same conversations since like 8th grade. But still,
Not the same. I wouldn't say the same.
it's changed. Well, in your
Yeah,
case,
it has
it's changed.
changed a lot, yeah.
I'm boring. I've stayed
Tom's
the same.
had the same opinion for a long time.
for a
yeah.
long time. But Austin, debating a libertarian was kind of fun at one point.
Yeah,
Now I'm glad you're not.
yeah.
But
everybody
yeah,
is.
but seriously,
Except for Gary Johnson.
100 episodes. That's fucking crazy.
I know.
We were in this basement 2 years ago, almost to the date,
Yeah,
coming up with this idea.
yeah.
And here
yeah.
we are 100 episodes later.
Yeah, that was a January. 'cause
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
after some
Yeah,
very
yeah.
bad news.
Yeah, very bad news, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
so we're gonna stick to the theme of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and without any more delay, let's
Yeah,
enter
Without further ado.
the 100th Trump report.
Oh, God.
Have I done a good job? Have I done a good job?
Not at all. Probably the least of anybody you've ever met.
There's nobody that understands the horror better than me.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh man, it's something. It's something that that 100 episodes in, we're still able to have the news made for us, and the stories just drop on the day that we're supposed to record.
Right into our lap.
It's pretty amazing. We got a couple different stories.
Okay, so what are you going to start with?
Instead of focusing on like the common news stories, I picked a couple different ones.
Okay.
The one that I'm going to start off with after I release that is about a Trump charity. Since it is the Trump report, right, Austin?
A trumpety, if
It's
you
a
will.
trumpety. Sure. This comes from the WAPO, the Washington Post, for those who don't know what the WAPO is.
Yeah, or
It's-
aren't owned by Jeff Bezos.
Right. Trump agrees to shut down his charity amid allegations that he used it for personal and political benefit.
Look, it's run its course. I'm president now, so what do I need it for? Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. But maybe not for the reason that you want to shut it down, Trump.
Look, I was going to shut down the border. That
Were you?
didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
So I figured I had to shut down something.
Well, you shut down something, that's for sure. President Trump has agreed to shut down his embattled personal charity and give away its remaining money amid allegations that he used the foundation for his personal and political benefit. New York
it away.
Attorney General Barbara Underwood
Give it away
announced
now.
Tuesday. Underwood. Interesting.
Now, yeah. Now, why isn't the Attorney General, what was his name? Eric Schneiderman?
Yeah.
Do you know why he's not there anymore?
You want me to be honest? I remember Schneiderman, but I forgot what happened to Schneiderman.
He was a bit of a sexual deviant.
Oh, what's with you and New Yorkers and like sexual deviants?
First, Tom won't let me be called a New Yorker, but when they're sexual
Now
deviants,
you're a New Yorker.
Now you're a New Yorker.
Well, you got Anthony Weiner who sent pictures of himself.
Well, with his last name, I mean, what can you expect?
I wouldn't expect anything else, honestly, to be completely frank. But, yeah, is that what happened to Schneiderman? It was a sexual...
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's gross.
Yeah.
Underwood said that Donald J. Trump Foundation is dissolving as her office pursues its lawsuit against the charity, Trump and his 3 eldest children.
And she's like, there's only 2 kinds of pain.
Yeah, only 2.
I have no time for useless things. Hey, speaking of sexual deviance.
There you go. The suit...
don't let that be the theme.
It's not, I promise. Okay. The suit filed in June alleged persistently illegal conduct at the foundation, which Trump began in 1987. Underwood is continuing to seek more than $2.8 million in restitution and has asked a judge to ban the Trumps temporarily from serving on the boards of other New York nonprofit organizations. Underwood said Tuesday that her investigation found, quote, a shocking pattern of illegality. Listen.
And then after that, she pushed Trump Jr. in front of a moving train. Spoiler alert.
Involving the Trump Foundation. Pretty much. I wish. Including unlawful coordination with the Trump presidential campaign, repeated and willful self-dealing, and much more. End quote.
Wow.
Quote, this is an important victory for the rule of law, making clear that there is one set of rules for everyone, she added in a statement.
Oh, there's not, though, because he's the president.
He is the president.
And clearly, like, if there were one rule for, like, one set of rules for everybody, he'd be in prison right now.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I know I'm right.
I think you're right. In a court filing in New York, Underwood said that the foundation's remaining $1.75 million will be distributed to other charities approved by her offices and a state judge.
Then she looked right in the camera and started talking to people, breaking the fourth wall.
It is funny that her name is Underwood, though, isn't it? It's kind of ironic. But yeah, so that happened over the week. When everything else is going bad for Trump, all of a sudden...
What? Things are going bad for me?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Oh, damn.
It's been a rough month.
Is it Christmas yet?
No. Almost.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm going to shut down the government.
Yeah. So that's something that we're not going to end up talking about, but it's because it hasn't happened yet.
No.
But while you brought
it
that
almost
up,
certainly will.
While you brought that up, it looks like we're going to be heading toward another government shutdown, which, if I'm not mistaken, is number 3 in Trump's administration.
And this one, I totally own. Right, Chuck and Nancy?
Yeah.
Totally own it.
Yeah.
Totally own.
Yeah, and do you know why, Austin?
Why?
The government might be shutting down? Why? Because he will not accept a bill that doesn't include his...
My wall.
I
need my giant, beautiful, beautiful wall.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
I need it to say Trump right across in gold. Trump wall.
Probably does.
Trump wall because Trump Moscow fell through. Very annoying. They're such wonderful people, but very annoying.
I know, and they make great drinks. White Russians right now.
Wonderful. Well, they're the only ones worth talking to.
Well, there's no Black Russians, so there's
no black.
No.
There is a drink called a Black Russian, but we don't drink that. Yeah.
Is that licorice?
Yeah. No, it's just Kahlua and vodka without the cream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a Black Russian. Yeah.
That's a Black Russian.
Interesting. But there are no Black Russians. So.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. This is interesting because one. Again, another thing involving the president.
Mm-hmm.
Illegal.
Being a criminal. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, this is something that could... I mean, the fact that he's dissolving it doesn't mean he's going to escape any punishment for the crimes they've already committed.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So his, like, this could really hurt his family.
It could, and I hope it does.
Yeah.
It says it involves his 3 eldest children.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, are Eric, Donald Jr., and who?
Ivanka.
Oh, Ivanka's the other.
Well, technically, the oldest is Tiffany,
That's what I thought.
but he doesn't know her.
Never met her before.
Low-level daughter.
You are the Papadopoulos of my family.
I would love to hear him say he couldn't pronounce Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos? No. What would it be like?
Excuse me, George Populonymous.
Populomulus.
Populama, whatever your name is. Give me some coffee.
Papalama's my new cover band.
Give me some White Russians.
Sure. Here you go. Cheers.
Give me some White Russians in my office.
Oh.
I would tell them state secrets all over the place.
Well, hold on. Excuse me, Mr. President Trump. Vladimir's not expected in for another 2 weeks.
I'll set the bed up.
So, yeah, that's just more bad news on Donald Trump. I
Ugh.
kind of thought that'd be fun to talk about a little
Yeah.
bit. Now, what's a trend with Fox News commentators or
Personalities?
hosts? Yeah. What's been a trend with like their decline? What's the first thing that happens to these guys who end up declining and eventually end up off of Fox News? What happens to their
Well,
show?
usually they sexually assault women,
Okay, let's.
but that's not the case this time.
skip that. Yeah,
Maybe they say something really racist,
possibly.
but that usually doesn't get them in that much trouble,
No.
to be
But
perfectly honest.
but in this case, it might.
Oh, okay.
This comes from NBC News. Now, granted, I know Austin.
Fake news.
Exactly.
Fake news. Not as fake as CNN,
Not as fake as CNN, so that means it's true.
even with the creamy face of Anderson Cooper.
This is extremely pleasant news, by the way.
Okay.
Advertisers bail on Fox News's Tucker Carlson over immigration comments.
I just said they're dirty. I don't understand what the problem is.
Well, on his show, Carlson railed against moral obligation to admit migrants into the U.S., even, he said, quote, if it makes our country poorer and dirtier and more divided.
I'm surprised he just didn't rail against moral obligation, period.
You're kind of right.
Why do we even have a moral obligation to do anything? Why aren't we all just doing whatever we want?
Yeah.
You know what the thing that kills me about these Fox News personalities
Tell
is
me,
that
Austin.
they're so they so love the heartland.
Yeah.
Oh, we love the flyover country.
We
It's our
do,
favorite part.
It's beautiful.
Where do they live?
In cities,
Not just any city.
New York,
New York City. They live in New York City
they do.
or Connecticut.
New York City's it's the same thing. Connecticut is just
Oh, I know. That's what I mean. They
Yeah.
take the train into New York City.
yeah, it's like Camden. Camden's not really New Jersey. It's
Yeah.
Philadelphia plus.
That's like I have a family member who's complaining about liberal California
Oh, yeah,
because they live in California.
they do. Yeah,
And the taxes, well, to be honest, I'm not even sure the taxes are high on because I don't think he makes that much money. But I was thinking, oh, you want to live in the conservative part? Go to Alabama. See how long you last.
yeah. See, it'll be fun.
Because you're a little bit darker than the average Alabamian or whatever.
yeah.
See how long you last there when you're around such great conservatives.
As one of my friends always says, it's like a chicken voting for Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
It makes
I mean,
kind of makes no sense.
It's one thing, like, if you have an aversion to high taxes, I can understand. I think you're wrong. I think they're worth it most of the time.
Most of the time, so
And
you're
to
right.
be honest, most of the time people who complain about it don't even fall into the tax bracket
They don't.
where it is high.
right,
But, like, if you want to see the difference, like, if the worst thing that liberals do is cause you to pay high taxes
Right.
compared to being lynched.
minor difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. It's like, so the worst example you have is that you pay high taxes.
Right, but you get more for it.
Yeah. Well, California, the funny thing is conservatives used to use California as an example of liberalism gone awry.
Sure.
Which, ironically, when they were doing that was when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor.
Which is
And what party was he? Did he run with?
Republican.
Yeah. Meanwhile, since the Democrats have taken over, that state has made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, they're doing, like, they're in the top 5 of states' economies.
I think
that are
so.
doing-
Yeah, I saw something about that too.
Yeah. So it's such bullshit. Oh, boo, boo, yeah. They're not doing well. They're doing great.
They're doing fine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the conservative model,
Yeah.
Kansas,
Kansas or just the South in general.
but Kansas specifically because they were trying to do away with taxes.
Yeah.
And they went into such a hole that the Republican government, other than the
how they do
governor, they were like, no, we gotta bring taxes back.
So a Republican's the governor of Kansas right now, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, really?
That was going to be Sam Brown back.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no more.
So it's like, what's the response from Republicans when their economy goes bad? Get a Democrat in there. Who does that fucking tell you?
Well, look at Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and Michigan too. And there's so many states.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania did the same.
And then the Republicans are like, whatever, we'll just take all their power.
Yeah.
But apparently they hit a snag in Michigan. So
they
that's
did,
interesting.
which is good to hear.
Yeah.
Which is good to hear.
So sad for them.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Fox News host Tucker Carlson face escalating.
This is when we remind everybody what the story was actually.
Yes. Facing escalating backlash on Monday from advertisers as they continue ditching his show over a segment about immigration.
Well, why are they ditching my show?
Well, among the latest to bail on Tucker Carlson tonight was the personnel finance website NerdWallet.
I can't believe they ever were part.
I know.
The people that watch the show are like 100 in hospice care.
I know.
What are they going to invest?
Which said in a statement to NBC News that it had, quote, pulled its advertising and will be reevaluating any ongoing advertising on this program.
Smart.
It is interesting that
they should really
part of it,
rethink
though.
any advertising on that network.
Yeah. Spokeswoman confirmed the company abandoned the show after a monologue Thursday about economics and immigration, in which Carlson said the U.S. needs more, quote, scientists and skilled engineers.
Which we get.
We do.
Yeah.
Quite often.
And as a matter of fact, the only people who abuse the genius visa, quote unquote, are people like Donald Trump,
right?
Who Ivanka came over, or not Ivanka, Melania.
Melania, yeah. It's hard. I get confused with them too sometimes.
Well, look, he's had an obsession with the Russians for years, apparently.
Yeah.
And
because
he married Ivana.
Yeah.
And his daughter is
Ivanka, and he loves his daughter
Melania
more than Melania. So,
but she came over on a quote unquote genius visa,
right?
I don't know what she's a genius at. I don't know. Making scary Christmas decorations.
She's just a model, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a model.
So he also added, instead of getting waves of people with high school educations or less, Carlson said, nice people. No one doubts that.
Don't disparage people with high school education.
But as an economic matter, this is insane. It's indefensible. So no one even tries to defend it. Instead, our leaders demand that you shut up and accept this. We have a moral obligation to admit the world's poor, they tell us, even if it makes our country poorer and dirtier and more divided. That was what he was saying.
That's what he said, yeah.
Toward immigrants.
I don't even know how you can argue like that. I don't understand. Like, you can't argue that he was being racist.
No.
Or that he wasn't being racist.
Right. I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, several companies have pulled out. Pacific Life has pulled out of the Tucker Carlson Tonight, I guess is the show.
Yeah.
And several others. And while the Republicans will continue to complain that this is a violation of free speech, and that's a complaint.
In what way is it a violation of free speech?
That's a complaint from them because he spoke his mind, and now people were upset. Well,
wait a second. Is he in prison?
Unfortunately, not.
Then it's not a violation of free speech.
Very true.
Yeah.
Although he probably should be in jail.
Well. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Probably for insider trading, to be honest, most of those guys get caught for.
Yeah, probably.
But here's a question. What level of education did all of the Irish immigrants who came over in the early 1900s have?
If I'm not making this up, I remember reading an article that most Italian and Irish immigrants were at a middle school education.
Yeah, and they built like entire
infrastructure of our country.
Yeah. So, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And while they were doing that, while they were immigrating here, well, not the early 1900s, but before that, they were immigrating here in the 1800s too. like the western half of the country was owned by Mexico.
Right. It totally
So those
was.
people lived there way before
totally was.
Tucker Carlson and all of his white friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't understand this rewritten history
I don't know.
where this is the first time immigrants, like, look, if these immigrants have a high school education, that is a much higher level of education than immigrants in the past have had.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they got along just fine.
they perfectly.
Yeah.
And they helped build our country.
Yeah.
And in this
And
case,
they were exploited just like every group of immigrants
and
are
in this
exploited.
case, these immigrants, at least a lot of them, are doing the jobs that we as white Americans
Yeah.
tend not to do.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Yeah. You're not exactly on that boat, are you?
I wasn't on any boat at all. My people were already here. Well, half of them.
But that's
The other half
but-
came during World
but
War
the
II.
But the truth is, most white people don't want to do the jobs that these immigrants are doing.
Most American citizens don't want to do
Right?
those jobs. Yeah.
And that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
Yeah.
If you deport all of the immigrants that are in this country right now, you lose.
Well, just look at
All
the
the
states.
agriculture.
Look at the states who tried. There were several states who tried to be hard on immigration, and they had to back off,
Right.
because all of their agriculture
Yeah.
would go under.
Yeah, they're farming.
Yeah.
The most important thing to their state.
So it's like,
I
oh, we
know.
can't. Yeah, it's just so
It's
obnoxious. Yeah.
And Tucker Carlson has been, he's been the replacement for Bill O'Reilly. That's how he gained notoriety.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ironic seeing the same sort of thing happen to him. Now, for a completely different matter.
It's true. He didn't rub his falafel on anybody.
He did not rub any falafels on anybody. You're right. But
By the way, can we just laugh at how ignorant somebody has to be to confuse falafel with a loofah?
it's a little bit of a difference, but I can see the confusion.
I can't if you're an educator. He went to Harvard.
Who?
Bill O'Reilly.
He went to Harvard?
He went to Harvard.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Absolutely
And
did.
he doesn't know the difference between
a
a falafel and a
and a
loofah.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding?
No.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking this shit up.
All right, I'm telling you, he went to Harvard. That's also why his bullshit, you Ivy League liberals, you went to Harvard.
Education at Harvard University and Queen Mary University of London. How is he so stupid?
I think it's a fair question.
How is he so stupid?
I don't know.
I went to a community college and I know the difference.
Between a falafel and a loofah? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I eat falafel. I don't eat a fucking loofah. I'm very upset right now. Just very, very upset.
Can we also say that, Harvard, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you know who else went to Harvard?
Obama.
No. Well, actually,
he-
he taught at Harvard. Yeah.
He went to Yale.
Did he go to Harvard for his law degree?
God damn it, Austin. I just got off of Wikipedia.
That's not who I was going to say, though. I was going to say the Zodiac Killer himself, Ted Cruz, went to Harvard.
I think you meant the actual Zodiac Killer, but then I remembered.
I did. That is exactly what I meant.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He went to Harvard, Obama. Oh,
Okay.
Harvard Law.
Harvard Law.
Yeah.
Because I think his undergrad was Columbia, which is like...
I'm not going back to Wikipedia for the third time in 2 minutes, okay? So we're just going to assume you're right.
Because I know, because it's like, about 10 blocks from where I live.
Harvard?
No, Columbia.
Oh. I was like, wait, you moved back to
I
Boston?
did used to live semi-close to Harvard, yeah.
Yeah.
When I lived in Brighton in Boston. Yeah.
Anyway,
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. Fuck you, Tucker. Tucker sucks.
I wonder where he went to college. Don't look it up.
I'm looking
I was
it
just
up.
kidding.
I'm looking it up. Nope. Tucker. Not Ticker. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. Trinity College. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that does sound about right. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Shit.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
So, if you remember, during the midterms in Arizona,
Which we covered. Yeah.
there was a close race between Kirsten Sinema and Martha McSally.
Yeah, which we were saying sounds like Christian cinema.
Right.
Sound like Jesus movies.
Exactly. Now, Sinema was a Democrat. McSally was a Republican.
Barely a Democrat, but yeah.
Barely Democrat. But she ended up winning, and uncontested, McSally gave up and she resigned. Well, now we know why.
Yeah, because she McSallied her way into the Senate.
She
anyway.
McSallied her way in. Republican Martha McSally lost Arizona's Senate race. However, she's being appointed to the Senate anyway. So this is what ended up happening. It's a really fucked up situation. So Kirsten Sinema won fair and square, but what we were confused by was why Martha McSally did not ask for a recount. She didn't fight it. She just sat back and let it happen. Why?
Yeah.
We were confused by that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, now what I assume is clear as day. John Kyle, who was McCain's replacement, resigned.
Yeah. Well, he always said that he wasn't going to serve.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And I guess for both of us, it didn't dawn on us that this could be a possibility.
I don't know.
Did you think about this? Because I did.
I did, because I had read an article about it a while ago, and that she was like the front runner.
Okay.
But I didn't know it was official, but now it's official.
Now it's official. So John Cowell stepped down. He announced he's going to step down on December 31st, which is only a few days away from now.
Yeah.
And the governor...
Yeah, especially when you guys listen to this.
Yes, yeah. And the governor, Doug Ducey, has picked his replacement.
I wonder if he's any relation to Steve Ducey, one of the Fox and Friends. Probably not. Oh, no. More research. This is the most research we've ever done for this show, by the way.
Never. And you know what? For our 100th, we're going all out.
We're trying to really hold on to that truth pledge that we gave.
Did we? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did. And we get emails about it all the time.
Do we really?
Yeah, we do.
I don't read the emails. Well, he has announced his replacement, and that replacement is Martha McSally. So even though Arizona said, nah, we want the Democrat,
The governor said, yeah.
the governor said, join us anyway. So both of those,
Join us on the dark side.
in a very rare case, both of the people who ran for Senate are now senators. Which is a really fucked up thing if you think about it.
But she's going to have to face another election in 2020, I believe.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
'cause that's what McCain would have been.
I think so, yeah. So I'll read a little bit about her because
Sure.
now she's going to be a part of American politics for the next 2 years, so might as well learn who she is. McSally, the first female fighter pilot to fly in combat and a top recruit of the Senate majority, Mitch Turtle Connell, had long been seen as a key contender for the seat. Although a post-election memo, her campaign had complied more recently after her chances in doubt. As the Washington Post Sean Sullivan reported, the memo sought to attribute part of her loss to Sinema to a slew of factors, including voter antagonism toward President Donald Trump.
Voter antagonism.
And was not particularly
Towards me.
well received.
Why would they be antagonistic towards me? I've done such
Among
a
certain
great job.
Republicans.
Great job. Look, best job that anybody has ever done.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, you're right. You're right.
Excuse me.
You're right. You're right.
Best job anybody has ever done.
Best job that anyone named Donald has ever done.
That's right. There's no presidents named Donald. No presidents named Donald except for me. I'm the
I
president.
think that's true.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think so.
I don't think that. Donald sounds like it could be another president's name, but I don't think it is.
We were close in 1932 and we almost elected Donald Duck.
Wow. Anyway.
But we didn't. We didn't. I heard that. Steve Bannon told me.
Yeah, he did.
Steve Bannon. He told me it was around the time when Rosa Parks was there.
Ooh.
Rosa Parks, Donald Duck.
Jesus. Austin. You're going to get our show banned.
So, what are you talking about? They'll put us right at the front.
Wow. No, in the back.
No, they'll put us at the front.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys. Yeah, that's right. So what? Anyway, what do you think of this? Do you think there's anything to this? Do you think?
I mean,
first of all, do you think this should be allowed?
Well, I mean, these are the rules. The governor gets to appoint.
I'm not asking that. I'm
Yeah.
sincerely asking. Do you think this sort of thing where you have two candidates, one won, and the other lost, but that one still is now a senator? Do you think that should be allowed?
Well, I mean, it's for a different seat. Like it's not the seat that she ran for.
Right.
I think that's an interesting question. Should the governors be allowed to pick?
Right.
Do
you think that?
Should there always have to be a special election? I think there always should have to be a special election.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And I know people are like, but Al Franken's seat. And I know. But honestly, in that special election, a Democrat
was going to win anyway. In this case, it might not have been that.
Yeah, it's true.
Because a Democrat just recently won.
Yeah.
Now, granted...
Like maybe Jesus movie would have run.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think you're right. I think a special election should have even been held even in Al Franken's case.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree.
It would have been a Democrat, but it still should have been held.
Yeah.
I don't think that you should rely on the governor. Now, yeah, those people in Arizona picked that governor, but
not for the Senate.
But and times have changed too, so that governor might not be in favor anymore.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, we used to have a guy named Tom Corbett. The state elected him pretty well,
once.
Yeah. And by the end of his term, he was hated.
Oh yeah.
So if he got to pick a Senate spot, there would have been fury.
I'm not sure. No, he didn't. Yeah.
No, I don't think he did. I think there were Bob Casey and Toomey have been. Yeah, Bob Casey was properly elected. Yeah. But so I think you're right. I think there should have been a special election. I don't think the governor should have had a chance to nominate.
I think there should be special. Yeah, I think
the state already said no to Martha McSally.
Yeah,
they voted
for one seat. Yeah,
they voted,
but it is a statewide election. So
yeah, right.
I agree.
So it's a weird situation. And I think it's kind of dangerous. But again, it's a state thing. So.
Not for Republicans.
No.
Look, we're not that into, who gets the most votes.
No, they never have been. I will say this, Martha McSally votes with Trump 100% of the times.
My kind of lady.
So, we're looking forward to
I like her. She does what I say, and I don't have to pay her $130,000.
No. No. Or maybe she does.
Not on the books.
Not on the books. I have one more story.
Okay.
All right. It's a funny story. I hope you enjoy this.
Oh, wait. But before we get to this, I do want to say that there is news that Trump, for once, pulled out of something, and it's Syria.
Yeah. So that ended up actually happening today.
Yeah.
With reports that he might even consider pulling troops out of Afghanistan.
I'm pulling out of all kinds of things.
Except women.
Melania is not one of them. Because I'd have to get in there first.
That was going to say. And then I have one more story for us.
Okay.
It's a funny one.
Okay. I'll trust you. It's funny.
A blind amphibian that buries its head in the sand is named after Donald Trump. A newly discovered...
I don't understand the connection.
Oh, you will. Oh, you will.
No, he won't.
Oh, you will.
No, he won't. He's an idiot.
A newly discovered blind amphibian that buries its head in the sand has joined a growing list of creatures named after President Donald Trump. With its behavior bearing a striking resemblance to the Commander-in-Chief's attitude toward climate change,
that's the one they picked, climate change?
It seemed fitting that the limbless animal be named Dimorphus Donald Trumpi. Now, if you go on Wikipedia and you look up Dimorphus Donald Trumpi, or Donald Trumpy, I think it's Trumpi.
Everybody needs a little Trumpy.
Dimorphus Donald Trumpi is a proposed new species of to be named after Donald Trump.
100 episodes and Tom still hasn't learned how to read.
It was originally discovered in Panama. It has yet to be confirmed as a new species, nor has the name been formally published. Now let's read the description of Dimorphus Donald Trumpi.
Okay.
It's about 10 centimeters, which is about 4 inches long. So first of all,
that's big.
First of all,
very big.
Awesome. Second,
very big worm.
It's blind.
Okay.
Shiny. Slimy. And it looks like a large worm. Slippery. And it burrows, living almost entirely underground. Its eyes can detect light and dark only.
And it doesn't like the dark.
So it uses its pairs of tentacles near its mouth in order to find its prey. It also has an extra layer of skin. It also has an extra layer of skin, which their young can eat after peeling it off. I'm talking to you, Ivanka. According to the Rainforest Trust, amphibians such as Dimorphus Donald Trumpi are particularly susceptible to the effects of global warming and are therefore in danger of becoming extinct.
See, that's where we differ.
Everything about this animal, this creature, is perfect to Donald Trump.
Look, most of my houses are in New York and South Florida. Global warming has no effect on it.
Aidan Bell, owner of EnviroBuild, who helped discover this species,
And a lonely heart.
said he named the species after Trump to raise awareness of Trump's policies on climate change and the danger those policies
What
pose
policies?
to survival of many species. So true, by the way.
Look, the climate has always changed from good to bad, from bad to worse, and from whatever it is now.
Bell said, quote, "It's the perfect name. Caecilian is taken from the Latin caecus."
By the way, if you guys want to become patrons now, because we're just gonna have whole patron only episodes of Tom reading words from the dictionary.
This is Latin, though. It's hard. I'll see you trying this.
Let me see. I'll try it.
No, fuck you. It's taken from
he knows I'll get it right.
It's taken from the Latin caecus, meaning blind,
From Kegel.
perfectly mirroring the strategic vision Donald Trump has consistently shown toward climate change.
Yep. No problem.
Bell also asserted a parallel between the species' ability to only see light in dark, not the way that I would have said this, by the way.
Look, even if climate change is real, what effect will it have on New York real estate?
So Dimorphus Donald Trumpi is a potential new species of, I guess, an insect.
Sand-burrowing worm, apparently.
Yeah.
And not the ones from Beetlejuice.
That looks, or that acts at least exactly like Donald Trump. And I thought this was a perfect way to end 2018's news by the fact that we are here in December naming a blind, slimy insect after our president.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think worms are insects. Because insects have to have 6 legs.
It has 7.
So it's not an insect.
6.
It's a worm.
It's a worm, yeah. Well, at least a worm-looking creature, it says. I don't know exactly what kind of bug this is.
My favorite worm was Earthworm Jim.
There you go. But, like, the fact that we are here talking about this,
Yeah.
really sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
And funny.
And very funny.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, scientists.
Oh, scientists naming Morphus Donald Trump. It's so good. It's so good.
Whatever. It's not the only thing I've had named after me.
Oh, man.
Have you seen the giant tower in New York?
No.
It was the tallest one after they blew up 9/11.
They blew up 9/11. Austin. That ends the news for 2018.
Trump report.
That's it.
2018.
That's the final Trump report 2018. Welcome back to the Dowcast, everybody.
No,
Yes.
not the Dowcast.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dowcast. Dowcast. Anyway, hi. Welcome back. How are you? Good? Good.
Better before you said the Dowcast.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking them.
Well, they can't answer you.
Now, how are you? I'm asking you.
No, now you want to
Now
ask
I'm
me.
asking you.
I was better before you said Dowcast.
You were better before. Oh, before I said Dowcast.
Yeah, we were talking to Thomas Smith. That was better.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Because that happened
Mm-hmm.
just before.
Just before.
Just before. Great
before.
interview. Wonderful. Austin, listen. We you and I have gone back and forth about the next segment, and I know you hate it. But it's such an essential part of the show. And
I don't hate the segment.
And you know what? This is the final one of 2018. Are you happy about that?
There's a part of me that's happy about that.
Oh, yeah? What show? What segment is that, by the way?
No, I'm not going to say it.
What do you mean? Come on, let's change it up a little
Nope.
bit. You do it.
Nope.
Come on. You know how many people will be so happy to hear
Nope.
you say it the way I say it?
Nope.
Come on. One time. One time.
You want me to say the name of the segment of the
The
segment?
way that I say it.
The way that you... Nobody
Yeah.
can say it the way that you say it.
Listen, I'm flattered.
Twitter time!
Yes!
Fuck you, Tom. All right, go ahead.
You see, unlike you, I'm aroused. That's how great that was.
Ah, why did you wear sweatpants? I don't want to see it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do. That's not what your text said.
I don't text.
Poll of the week. With the holiday season nearing its end, my question for everyone was, what is everyone's favorite holiday? Now, again, because Twitter is stupid, I was only able to put 4 options, so this is what I did.
How many holiday options did you want?
There's quite a few. Some people really like 4th of July.
Oh, I thought you meant like winter holidays. No, you mean all
holidays.
Oh, okay.
All in general.
Yeah.
The ones I picked are Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas / Hanukkah. I put those 2 together. And New Year. Okay? So out of those 4, which one do you think won? And then the real question is, what is your favorite holiday, Austin?
Oh, wow. My favorite. That's a good question. My favorite holiday. Probably. You know, I don't know if I have a favorite holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
There's not one that you prefer over the others?
Not particularly.
Really? Okay. That's interesting.
Shit. Maybe Halloween.
Okay.
I'm trying to, but yeah, I'm not, well, yeah. Future me, you can cut all this out, and I'll say the leftist correct answer. My favorite holiday is Labor Day.
Wow. Well, that's fake news, isn't it?
It's the day we celebrate the labor movement, Tom.
While I work.
Well, of course.
Because I've never had a Labor Day off before. Ever. Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
I think I have to agree. I don't think I've ever had a Labor Day off either. Yeah.
Never, ever,
Never.
ever. In my entire working life, never.
Never, yeah.
So happy Labor Day, America. My favorite has always been Halloween. It's just the holiday.
Yeah, I think it is the best holiday.
It's just the weirdest holiday.
Well, that too.
You know what I mean? Like, you can be creepy and the costume wearing
That's
is...
why Tom likes it.
I love it. You know, I can just be myself. I hate Christmas. It's my least favorite holiday.
favorite
in the
holiday.
world.
Okay, gotcha.
New Year is probably second favorite. I like that because even though it means absolutely nothing, and it really is just another day, and nothing actually changes, the idea of starting a brand new year is kind of cool to me. But every year seems to get worse and worse. So I don't know. Like, I want to love New Year. I want to celebrate. Like, hey, I'm going to have a great new year. But every year is fucking worse. So I don't know if that is that's why I can't make that my favorite. Halloween stays my favorite because it's the creepiest of the holidays. And it can kind of just be dark and it's accepted.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanksgiving, I just like the food.
I do like eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food during Thanksgiving to me is the best. That classic American food, turkey, stuffing.
Yeah, see, the thing is, for me, like, the food on Thanksgiving is almost the same as the food on Christmas.
For me,
Plus,
it
I
is
get presents.
too. Yeah, but
So
just too much around Christmas that I just absolutely despise.
I can see that. I mean, my real favorite holiday is Festivus, of course.
Oh, stop! The winner of the poll was Halloween with 41%. Christmas /
see,
Hanukkah
Lots of people agree with us.
came up with
Yeah.
37% was second. And then tied for third / fourth was Thanksgiving and New Year's with 11%.
Okay. Since they're nothing alike, but yeah.
Nothing alike. John from the Wayward Willis said, "Thanks for making me realize how much of a grumpy old man I am. I hate them all. You get no vote for me."
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Grumpy old
Antonio, or at Wrestling More 19, says, I like both Halloween and Christmas, but I incline more towards Halloween. Good choice. And Hannah EMP, at Hannah EMP1, says, any holiday with a reason to drink.
Agreed.
Also correct.
Yeah.
All correct answers. So it seems like at least our listeners tend to really like Halloween, which is really weird. I question whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think most people do. I think Halloween is definitely a holiday that a lot of people like.
Why do you think that?
Well, because first of all, it's not a religious holiday.
True.
Not particularly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it can be. I know in like Mexico, it's a religious holiday for the most part, but
El Dia de los Muertos. But
is that what it's called?
yeah,
Nice.
Day of the Dead. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
But and I mean, like, you know, it's a pagan holiday, really. So
True.
Pagans think it's a religious holiday,
Right.
For most people, it's not.
For me, it's not.
So it doesn't carry any of those, you know,
That's true.
connotations.
That's a good point.
And it's just something that you can have fun like this. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not much into the costume wearing anymore because I'm almost 28 years old. But for a long time, I loved going to Halloween parties where you could dress up and be some fucking made up character and just have a good time. And for the most part, Halloween parties have always been my favorite. It's like people just don't care because it's not a religious holiday. Like you said, in Christmas, there's people who gotta behave because it's supposedly the birth of Jesus. So it's a weird. Halloween's just more fun. You can be more who you want to be.
Yeah, I agree. It's
So
an
there you
interesting
go.
poll, though.
There you go. And now let's move to our final question segment of 2018. Let's start with Elvin Engineer at Engineer Elvin on Twitter. Favorite video game of 2018. Also, favorite cereal. So start with video game.
Weirdly different answers.
Start actually some questions. Yeah, start with cereal. What's your favorite cereal?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Favorite cereal. You know, I'm partial to Frosted Mini Wheats.
Well, those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah, you're an older guy. You can tell you're older.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. Like my favorite. Actually, even as a kid, I really liked Raisin Bran.
Oh yeah, I liked Raisin Bran.
I really liked Raisin Bran. I know, like a lot of people wanted the sugary.
I was never into the real. Well, I mean, Frosted Mini Wheats are sugary,
sort of, but they're not like
they're not
Frosted Pebbles or whatever they're called.
Like
Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles.
Frosted Pebbles.
Listen, I don't know.
They probably make a Frosted Pebble.
They might. I don't know.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups even makes a cereal.
Those were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I like.
Well, of course, anything with like just giant amounts of sugar are gonna be good.
Yeah.
The one I always laughed at was the cookie one.
Oh yeah, the little cookies.
Like what I've always wanted for breakfast:
cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies.
I'll tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like the harder cereal where it would rip the top of my mouth, like Captain Crunch. That's the number one. Like I love the taste of Captain Crunch.
But if you just had the Crunch Berries.
Crunch berries were okay.
Yeah, and
but they were a little too
had
sweet.
The one that was like,
but
all berries.
I loved the peanut butter Captain Crunch though. That was my favorite.
Good,
but unfortunately, it shredded the top of your mouth.
Yeah, I think Frosted Mini Wheats.
They were pretty good.
My favorite,
were you a Cheerios fan?
I was a Cheerios fan, but they weren't my favorite.
If you had to pick between Cheerios or Honey Nut Cheerios, what do you pick?
Oh, Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like a little bit of sweet.
I like the traditional.
You like the regular? Okay.
Yeah. But again, like I said, Raisin Bran was always my favorite. I know people really hated it, but I loved Kix growing up.
Oh yeah, Kix are good.
Which is really weird because it's like it's cardboard.
Yeah, honestly, you know what the best cereal I ever had was?
What's the best?
I didn't have it till I was a teenager. I had it. I went on a summer trip to Europe, and they had like the best way I can describe them is the Captain Crunch that wasn't the berries; it was like the other ones.
Not really. No.
Well, they're like they're like yellow and they kind of I don't know. They're hard. The ones that aren't berries, Captain Crunch. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, imagine those filled with Nutella.
Oh my god,
that's what they had.
Oh man.
Well, basically, do you know Crave?
Yeah, sure.
It's that with Nutella instead of just chocolate. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They had that in Europe, and that was my favorite.
That's good.
Yeah. But I only had one box when I was in Europe.
Only one?
Yeah.
I would have had more.
I know.
I would.
Well, they didn't have them everywhere. We got those in France.
Oh, okay.
And then
That makes sense.
I think when we moved on to Germany, I don't know if they had them anymore.
No, they have sauerkraut. Sauerkraut cereal. It's got a good ring to it.
No, they served like cold deli meat and watered down orange juice. That was their breakfast.
What?
Yeah, and slices of cheese.
Wait.
I'm serious.
Cold deli meat
Yeah.
and cheese.
Yeah. I mean, no wonder there were Nazis in Germany.
Jesus.
Because when you're in France, you have coffee and pastries.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a good breakfast.
Yeah. You go to Germany and they're like,
Cold meat.
you will have some meat.
Cold meat and cheese. That's
nine bread.
9. 9 pastries. Oh, man. All right. Second part to this question is favorite video game of 2018.
I think we agree on this one. Yeah. Red Dead
quite
2?
easy one. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. I played probably more games than you did this year.
I think that's true.
Yeah. And I played quite a few good games. I think God of War came out this year as well, and I
One
played,
of them. Yeah,
and I
not the
played.
original.
I played God of War 3, I think it was, and I played that one not
Oh, did
on Xbox. I think it's PlayStation only. I was playing at my friend's house, and I thought that was a fantastic game. But man, Red Dead is just so good. It's so good. It should have won Game of the Year, which it didn't. God of War did, by the way. Red Dead did not win Game of the Year on the Game Choice Awards. So
That's too bad.
yeah, but still, it's a great game. The soundtrack won, by the way, on Red Dead. It was the best soundtrack of 2018
Oh, yeah.
at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So I think we both agree it's Red Dead 2.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Next question. Actually, you know what? Let's change it up. Let's do Dr. Ninja Monkey's questions first.
How's that changing it up?
Because we're not ending it on Dr. Ninja.
Okay.
Normally we end
He's
it
in the
on-
middle now. All right.
First question. Who gives money to a Trump charity? Austin, go. Once he's done on his phone.
People who want it laundered.
Okay. That's fair.
I think that's fair, yeah.
I think that's fair. I would say the alt-right, poor people, coal
Do you think
mine.
poor people give the Trump Foundation money?
Yeah, at least the southern poor people.
Yeah.
Coal miners.
I know they gave his campaign money, but that's different than his foundation.
Yeah, but if they're willing to do that, I think they're willing to do the latter as well. I will safely say coal miners, West Virginians. A lot of people.
Virginia.
Mama, take me home.
Oh, please, if you take me home to West Virginia, I'm going to kill you. Not where I belong.
So yeah, I think the South, Dan. I
The
think
South,
the answer to your question is the South.
Like Arkansas.
Arkansas. Except for Brody. Brody would not do that. Next question from Dr. Ninja Monkey. Do you think Santa wears a bulletproof vest when he drops down American chimneys?
Dan,
Well,
this is a dumb question.
is it?
Yes, because Santa isn't real.
What?
Santa's not real.
What do you mean?
It's not real. Doesn't exist.
I don't know what you
like
mean.
Jesus.
Jesus exists. So.
Does not.
All right. So since Austin has officially lost his mind and he's obviously extremely drunk, the answer is yes.
He does. He does.
He does. Yeah. So does Rudolph. Rudolph. The other
Wears a bulletproof vest, but the other reindeer don't.
No.
Okay.
No one cares about the other reindeer.
They're straight out of Compton.
Yeah, they're all armed with machine guns too. By the way, Santa exists though. What if we? Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
If we had a child listening to our show, which there's a very
I'm
good
glad
chance.
you finished that sentence.
There's a good chance if we had a child together. It'd be one fucked up child.
Poor kid.
Honestly, there's a good chance that there's a kid that listens to us. Maybe not that young,
Not that young.
but if there is, what are you going to tell him or her about Santa right now. You just say something that is extremely... By the way, kid, it's extremely wrong. Santa does exist.
I always said if I had kids, I wouldn't lie to them about that shit.
Me neither. I really wouldn't.
It seems so stupid.
Same thing with
and
the
by the
Tooth
way,
Fairy.
that's like, what, at least 4 or 5 years of not getting credit for the presents you bought?
True. The other thing, too...
It's like, bitch, I work for that.
The other thing, too, like the Tooth Fairy. Like, no, fuck you. First of all, you don't get money for dropping your teeth.
Everybody does that.
I dropped my balls and no one gave me any money. So you're not going to drop your fucking teeth and expect money. No. I don't care if it's a fucking
You didn't get
corner.
visited by the testicle fairy?
Get a fucking job.
Get a job.
You lost your teeth. Wow, fucking congratulations. So stupid to me that we as a society have to create this fairy that drops money for your fucking loose tooth. Are you kidding me? How stupid is that? It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Oh my god. I don't know what your balls had to do with that.
It's dropping something.
You didn't get visited by the testicle fairy. That's what he's so upset about.
Yeah, that's when I had my first wet dream. She filled them up.
Oh man.
It was the first time, but isn't that the way the story goes?
That's what they used to call Father McKenzie.
Oh my god!
The testicle fairy.
I think my first ever priest was actually named close to that. That's odd that you said that.
Man.
Next question: Are Santa's elves slaves in a sweatshop?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't say yes or no. You just say he doesn't exist.
Well, the myth of Santa, he runs a slave labor shop.
No, you can't have both ways.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. Well, yes, you can because you are both ways. So you think that they're slaves in a sweatshop?
According to the myth, when he has a bunch of little people working for him.
I'd like to believe that it's
With that, and it never
willing.
says he pays them.
It never says that,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that they're not.
I mean, I feel like they'd mention
You
it.
see, I like to believe that they're doing this willingly.
I don't think so.
You think they're just like chained up?
I don't know. Well, I don't even think you should be allowed to willingly work for free.
By the way, who gets toys anymore?
Yeah.
The idea of
Well,
Santa,
children do.
Yeah, not really.
Not wooden toys.
Yeah, well, especially that. But
It's like, how do we build an Xbox?
yeah, I mean, you telling me Santa's slaves are building Xbox right now? Oh, I meant to say elves. My mind just said slaves. That's really weird.
Santa slaves, by the way, my new cover band.
Okay, fair. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, they play a D chord.
Interesting. A D chord. Okay. Okay, we got it. A double D.
Yeah.
A double D.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Energy.
Okay. Oh, I hate him.
100 episodes.
100 episodes. Next question. What do you want for Xmas? Besides world peace / Trump getting locked up,
I
etc.
don't want those things.
Wait,
Well, the Trump locked up part.
you don't want world peace?
Look, I was told that war is over if I wanted it. And I do. So it's over. That's how the song goes.
But it's wrong.
Then I was told that school was out forever.
Okay. Okay. So what do you want for Christmas, Austin?
Well, since I already have both of my front teeth, I guess.
I fucking hate him so much. How did we make it 100 episodes? This is ridiculous.
That's a good question. Look, if somebody's interested in getting me something for Christmas, a barrel-aged stout with coffee is my favorite.
He goes to alcohol.
Oh. Have you lived in America?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Sadly,
you.
I have. Can I just have money?
Oh, money. That's good.
I'll
yeah.
just take money.
Yeah.
And that's my answer for anybody who ever asks, like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? If you really want to get me a gift, give me some cash.
Money.
Money.
Not the Pink Floyd one.
I was thinking of the Beatle one. Well, it's not Beatles, but the Beatle
Yeah, I know
version
what
of
you
it.
mean.
Yeah. That's what I want. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Because the Pink Floyd one disparages money.
It does. It does. I want money.
And even though theirs is accurate.
It is.
Don't give me their money shaming. I want money.
Is there an actual gift you want to know?
That's not money.
Yeah. I have an idea. Something I'd want.
I don't know. Tesla, maybe. Give me a Tesla.
I wouldn't mind like a PS4.
You want a PS4?
Most
Why?
of my friends play PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the opposite problem of my sister.
Really? Yeah, 100%. Now, I have enough friends who play Xbox, so
That's
I'm
not a problem.
I'm
yeah.
great on Xbox. But the other side of my friends all have PlayStation, and I kind
This is
of
why you have to have both.
and I kind of want both. So
Yeah.
I would ask for that, but I'd first ask for money because I got bills to pay first, and I got to go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I've been eating like pickles out of a jar for the past like 2 weeks.
Pickles out of a jar.
Yeah.
Not exactly food.
Come on, cover band. It's got to be a cover band.
Pickles in a jar would be cover band.
Thin Lizzy.
Then yeah, okay.
Whiskey in a jar.
Whiskey in a jar. Okay, fair enough.
See my point?
Yeah, I do.
Next question, last from Dan. Best toy, and Dan had to add in parentheses, not bedroom related, Tom, in parentheses,
I like how he called you out.
you've ever got.
Because we all know Tom has the bedroom toys.
Listen,
Like a nightlight. Now, what is he talking about?
is it a nightlight? I thought it was a fleshlight. I'm pretty sure it's advertised as a fleshlight.
Yeah, if only you just kept that in your bedroom.
Best toy I've ever gotten.
Yeah, that's okay. That's an interesting question.
You're gonna mock me for my nerdness, but
I mocked you for a lot of things.
you have. My uncle once, not the racist uncle, the tolerable uncle, once asked me very slyly what I wanted for Christmas, and I kind of alluded to the fact that I had all these Power Ranger.
How is it slyly, by the way? I'm just curious.
I was a kid, so it's not hard to trick a kid, but
Well, I mean, usually with kids, you just ask, like, what do you want for Christmas?
so he pretty much asked me, because I had these Power Ranger action figures, and if you're from our age, you know which ones I'm talking about. And I had the entire collection, Green, White Ranger, and the original Power Rangers too. And they also came with their Power Zords, which are the monster or the robot monster things that they called. And you could buy those pieces, and you could actually connect them to make the Megazord.
Oh, I had that.
And I did not have any of those, but I had but I had the action figures.
I had all of the things.
You did?
Yeah.
I never did. So my uncle actually saw me playing with the Power Ranger action figures, and he asked, where are the rest of them? And I said, I don't have them. My parents are stupid.
No.
And he got me one. He got me the only one that mattered, the Dragon Zord, which is the Green Ranger's Power
Okay.
Zord.
Okay.
Oh, my God. So good. I still have it till today.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
No, I
It's-
think I had all of it because I remember, like, you could build, like, a robot with
You
it.
could. Now, the Dragon Sword was the one that you couldn't. It was separate. It's its own thing. But if you had the red, the blue, the black Ranger, the yellow Ranger, and the pink Ranger, you can combine those into one Megazord.
Yeah, I remember getting them as, like, a set.
Yeah.
And then you could build, like, a robot.
But they were expensive back then.
I don't know.
And I just, personally, I couldn't afford it. And I always
Well, you were a
wanted-
child. You couldn't afford anything.
I could not, no.
Yeah.
Except from, like, saving money from, like, birthdays and stuff like that, which I
Yeah,
never did.
yeah.
So,
Who, as a child, who saves money?
no one. No one.
Probably Ben Shapiro because his parents were rich.
Yeah.
And so even if he spent money,
Yeah.
he could save, like, he would get everything he wanted and then money on top of that.
True.
Yeah.
So that would be I think that was probably my best toy gift that I ever got.
Okay.
Because I didn't really get many toys as a kid. I got a lot of clothing. And
Really?
Yeah, my family's always been about, like,
Clothes.
my grandfather, my one who passed away, unfortunately, he was always about getting me, like, a good set of like a good pair of shoes.
Pair of shoes. Okay.
So even as a child, like, I had fucking beautiful Italian leather shoes, because of my grandfather. Like, my aunt, my uncle, my
I'm
mom,
sure that
dad
made you popular.
did not.
Because kids like sneakers.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I got like real.
felt Italian shoes, not so much.
It's funny too, because now as a 27-year-old,
It's like, I like those shoes.
now I want them. I want them so
Like,
bad.
what the fuck? That's funny.
But yeah, I never really got toys. I remember my mom, she tried really hard at one point. I used to be into this thing called Beyblades. Do you remember what Beyblades are?
I think I remember them.
They're these little toys that, like, you can stick this, like, plastic piece on the top,
and
then
they like spin like
and
a
you
top,
pull a
right?
string,
Yeah.
and it spins,
or
and
they take off or something like that,
right?
yeah.
And you're supposed to
and they're
battle
supposed to fight
with others,
other kids. Yeah.
And I was really into Beyblades.
By the way, this was all before video games.
way before. If there's any
way before, because they had video games before we were born.
Yeah, true, but
But I
not
don't know
before.
if they had like co-op.
They
Video.
weren't
Yeah.
mainstream.
No,
By any means. This is what
and I don't think you could play like against other. Well, maybe you could if two people were in the same
in the
room.
same room, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
We had
Because
dial-up internet.
this is
Okay.
I'm talking about 5th grade for us. So
Yeah, 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
So this is a while ago. Like they had just
So it was like 2002 when you'd wait for the dial-up internet to go.
yeah.
And then it's like the porn sites would load like one line at a time.
They had literally just introduced computers into our school by
it's
then.
like-
Like they were the big bulky white
Yeah.
computers that you might.
And
have
I
seen.
was lucky because my family has had computers since I was like 2 years old. I think in '93 we got our first Mac.
Yeah, we had. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice. I had my first PC in like '95. I want to say.
Yeah,
whenever AOL was really popular.
because back then Macs, the Apple used to give a huge discount to teachers, so we had a desktop, and I remember playing like the early version of video games, and it was a lot of fun. And then in '95 or '96 we got Windows, got like a Dell, I think. I can't remember.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and but I just remember when we got the internet. It was like '97 or '98, and it's like everything loaded so slow. But we thought it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like when you were on the internet, nobody could be on the phone.
Oh yeah. I remember when we got AOL for the first time.
Yeah,
I don't know how we got into
you get
this
the
conversation.
little discs in the mail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you had to constantly like update it through that.
Yeah, the
Through
discs
that
in the
means.
mail. Yeah,
And when you went online, it took like a half hour to connect. Sometimes unsuccessfully, by the way. It wasn't always a guarantee that you logged onto the internet.
no, yeah, that's true.
And then it was so fucking loud. And I'll tell a funny story because it doesn't matter. But when I was a young boy figuring out what like porn was and shit like that, I would try to. We only had one computer because computers were super
everybody only
expensive.
had one. Yeah,
So
I remember it was up in the spare room.
yeah, it was in my living room. We had ours in the living room. So I would
Couldn't even
wait.
lock the door.
So I would wait until like super late at night.
Yeah.
But the problem is with that,
The dial-up.
the dial-up. And it was so fucking loud that even if you took like I remember I used to take like a cloth or a towel
Yeah.
and I tried to cover the modem and it would still echo throughout the
Super
house.
loud, yeah.
And then my mom would call from downstairs like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Going
"I'm
on
just
the internet."
checking my mail." Which was an extremely new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a kid listening to this, we used to we would be updated with mail. You've got mail. Like it was so exciting that you had mail.
They made a whole stupid movie about it.
They
yeah.
really did. That was fun.
But it's
man.
like the porn used to load like one line at a time. We're
One-
talking about pictures,
one
not
line
video
at a time. So think of a naked woman in this case, right? Think of a naked woman in your head. Because
I have to say, yeah, if you're straight, you're a lot luckier because you get to the good place a lot faster. Than
quickly.
if you,
But if you're like Austin or myself, I'm speaking for you, but like you gotta get all the way to the bottom, and that took a while. That wasn't a quick process. And half times as a child, you're done by the time it's loaded.
yeah, you were unloaded.
Yeah, I know it sounds weird, and somebody out there right now is cringing thinking about this, but that's the truth. That's the way the internet was.
It was,
growing up was really difficult.
I know.
Like,
Now they have videos of like,
you could go on your phone and look up porn in a second.
yeah,
And it's there.
I watch a whole video.
Yeah.
We're like waiting for picture.
Oh
like
my
just
God.
one still
You
picture.
could not, videos were not even a possibility
no,
back
it
when
would
we
have
were
taken
kids.
3 years to load a video.
Exactly. If it loaded at all. I remember non-sexually, I used to like follow Ringo Starr a lot when I was a kid, and he had video. He had
I just specify.
he had vlogs where he would just like show his like everyday life,
Yeah.
which was so rare for back then.
Yeah.
And I remember trying to watch one video that he posted, like a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
I'd have to download that video for an entire day
Oh yeah.
just to see what Ringo was talking about. And I did it all
Yeah,
the time. It's crazy to think
Yeah,
about that.
I know.
It's fucking wild.
Now you wait, like if you had to wait a couple seconds for it to load, you'd be like, what the fuck?
I'd be so mad. I'm never upset by that kind of stuff because I remember growing up trying to I used to play RuneScape
Well,
all the
the
time.
thing is, I do when you pay for it. It's like I pay for 500
Right.
megabits per
Yeah.
second. It's like, what the fuck? I shouldn't have to wait around for
It's
this.
so crazy to think about how life has changed so much in our life.
I know, yeah.
Because I remember when we didn't have computers.
Yeah, I barely remember because 93 I was like 2.
Yeah, but
So we've had-
I do vaguely remember having the playroom where it was actually just like toys and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then we introduced a computer, and my life went
Yeah.
to computers after that.
Well, I think, like we had a computer since 93, but I don't think... I remember using it a lot, but I still was into toys.
Yeah, no, me
Which is
too.
like...
Me
I
too.
didn't even answer the question.
Oh yeah,
It was like in
I forgot what we even were.
98, I think, 97.
Mhm.
Whenever the horrible Batman movie with George Clooney came out.
No, well, it's Kevin, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I got like a full like a Batcave toy.
Oh, really?
That, like take up half a room. Like,
Nice,
that's how
nice,
big it
nice,
was.
nice.
That was my favorite toy.
I remember being really into Legos when I was a kid.
I was into Batman. Batman was everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Legos and Power Rangers were like the two things that really...
I remember that was because it was the movie with Mr. Freeze, and I also liked Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sure, I'm going to pretend I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger played Mr. Freeze, he had like a gun that could freeze people. That was his whole thing.
Wow, clever.
Yeah, so I know it's all very clever. And so I would take like my action figures and put them in like a plastic cup, fill it with water, and freeze them.
That's creative as shit,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
And then you'd have to like put a little hot water to get them out, and then they'd sit on the counter.
I'll tell you this. I remember me and my best friend at the time, we got into like an argument. I don't remember. It was probably something stupid. And what we were both into, like, it wasn't Lego blocks. There were these like big Lego blocks, not like, they were like soft pieces. I don't know how to explain them.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But
yeah.
like they were all like in sets of 2s or 3s.
Yeah.
And we would make castles with that. And this is when we were super young, by the way.
Yeah.
And we got into an argument, and then from our own houses, we built castles that fought against each other. So while we were arguing, we had wars against each other, which was so fucking clever. It's so
Clever,
clever.
yeah. I like
Before video games really took over.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. Thank you for that question, by the way. I don't know how we got
Oh,
into
yeah.
that.
That was a long rant on that.
Now I have one more question that's a two-parter.
Okay.
The first part of the question is from Hannah at HPrib012. Good friend Hannah. It might be hard to think of, but what was both of your favorite moments of the show so far?
Ooh. That is a good question. I think my favorite moment wasn't technically part of the episodes we've released, but I think it was our live stream of the midterms. Like that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And it turned out pretty well. Like
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Good response from it too.
and the midterm results were pretty good.
Well, that helped.
yeah.
Well, that helped. Yeah, I think that's a great moment.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this before we started recording, and I was having trouble thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really tough question. I want to say it's a combination of a couple things.
Okay.
One, the people that we've met.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's not a singular
It's
moment.
not a singular moment, yeah.
So I'm kind of copping out of this answer, but the people that we've met changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
The interviews that we've been able to conduct have been amazing.
Yeah.
If I could think of one singular moment, man, I don't. The inaugural episode, in a way,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that.
I remember a very, very high point, maybe even the top point, I don't know, was interviewing a certain future congresswoman.
Yeah, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's one that's definitely. Well, save that
Yeah.
because that's part 2
Yeah.
to this question.
Oh, okay.
As far as like a singular moment, you know what? The boom boom shakalaka. I remember that split my fucking sides when I heard that.
Yeah.
Or when you create, this is when we were doing a video podcast back 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When you counted the amount of buttholes we said from Pastor
The
Manning.
flaming butthole gold mine.
So good.
Yeah.
That was really a really fucking hilarious moment. We've had so many moments.
Yeah, we've had a good time.
Unfortunately, drunk through half of them.
Yeah.
So I don't remember all of them. It's the truth. I'm not going to lie. I don't remember. The most recent episodes where I haven't been drunk, I remember them clearly. It's really weird the way that works.
Yeah.
How about you? Is there a singular moment?
A singular moment? I don't know if there was. I mean, the midterms were a singular moment.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? You already answered it. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that was just felt like the culmination of everything we've
Everything.
done.
Yeah, that's what we were building up for.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
The second part to this question is from Joe Steele at Sudawada 333.
Yeah.
What was your favorite interview on the show thus far?
That's a good question.
Now, favorite interview might be a little bit different.
Yeah. I think, because people are probably just expecting us to say AOC. But
AOC, yeah.
it was a great interview, by the way.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my favorite interview, man.
See, I have a clear cut.
Do you have a clear cut?
I do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, what's your clear cut?
The one and only, and I do not mean any disrespect to any of the people we've had on our show, because I don't think we've ever had a bad interview.
No.
It's been great almost every single time, if I can remember.
Yeah.
The one that I remember just being fucking mystified was Andrew Torres.
Oh, yeah, that was
getting
great.
him on the show and just hearing him speak the way a lawyer would speak, but like so down to earth. I don't know. I had so much fun interviewing Andrew Torres. I think that was one of the best. Now, AOC, great.
Yeah.
Tom Prigg is one of our good friends.
Yeah.
John Willis, Hannah, Joe. We had so many people on this fucking show.
Joe wasn't so much an interview. He was like a co-host almost.
True.
For the entire episode,
so that's completely different, I guess, if you think about it. But we've had so many amazing people on the show. It's so hard to pick. And if I'm being forced to pick one, the one that instantly stands out, other than AOC, is Andrew Torres to me.
You know what? I think my favorite interview, now that I'm thinking about this a lot more, I think almost hands down had to be the second time Sarah Smith was on.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Even the first time.
The first time was great.
Yeah.
But the second time to hear what it was actually like.
Yeah, it was really cool.
To have been a candidate in a campaign, that was unbelievable.
I was debating between the both of those as well. I mean, there's just so many.
Yeah,
we've interviewed so many awesome people over the course of the 2 years. It's just so much fun. I think
that one, getting that perspective and
really cool. Yeah.
And Tom Prigg too. After
Tom is just like he's a homie.
Yeah. The thing is, we've interviewed him quite a few times.
Yeah. And each time it's like talking to a friend.
That's the thing, yeah. So I couldn't pick one of those because I think they're each as good as each other.
No.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, and I'm not, because you know me, I'm going to tell you what I feel.
He does.
I don't think I've had one interview where I didn't like it. Even like a guy like Rhett earlier on in the year. And I'll say it's because he doesn't listen to the show anymore.
Not earlier on.
I'm sorry, earlier on in the show. Yeah, like that was one of the few times we've had someone on our show that doesn't have the same opinion as us. No. And even that was a good interview.
It was, yeah.
So I don't really remember one time being like, "Damn, we fucked that up," or "Damn, that was boring."
Yeah.
It's just been it's been a fantastic journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you everyone for the questions. Mm-hmm. That was our final Twitter time of 2018. We will definitely have this back next year because
it's funny because I was also tempted to say that. But the thing is, we've had Stephen on so many times, but every time it's like,
Stephen,
that's really
Kevin,
interesting. Yeah.
Kevin's another one.
Yeah.
You know, like I if it wasn't for Kevin, I wouldn't know the difference between DC and Marvel. I still barely know the difference between DC and Marvel, but I know a little bit more. I know Batman is DC.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, I would not have gotten that without Kevin.
Yeah.
That's the truth, by the way.
It's definitely the truth. Idea. Definitely the truth. Yeah.
So, like, everybody's just been fantastic. So, thank you so much for all the support and Twitter time and all that. I got an idea.
Uh-huh.
Let's skip the Gary Johnson thing. He's still being mailed, from what I understand. So we're
skip it.
Yeah. So we don't know where he is.
That's true.
He's being mailed. Okay.
I mean, I thought that was just, a newscast that we tuned into. I didn't even know that.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, but the news, it's still saying that he's
no news this week.
No. So unfortunately,
So we don't know where in the world Gary Johnson
we don't
is.
even know where in the world Gary Johnson is. How about we do this? We come back, we take a little break, we come back, we do our final thoughts, but instead of a traditional final thoughts, let's reminisce a little bit. Let's play back a little bit from our first episode.
Okay.
And we'll do like a scary religious nut job kind of thing,
Oh boy.
but with our first episode.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. We'll be right back. And so ends our big dumb show. Although it doesn't, because I have an idea. Austin,
What?
how about we go back in time a little bit?
Oh boy.
You know, it's the 100th episode, right?
It is. It is the 100th episode.
100 episodes ago. Think about that number, by the way. 100. It's a big fucking number, okay? If my dick was 100 inches long, oh, I'm God, right?
Yeah.
It's 100 episodes.
Yeah.
100 episodes ago, we were in this basement, and you came up to me, and you said to me, you want to do a podcast?
I do remember this.
And I said to you, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And I said, when were you thinking about doing it? And you're like, right now.
Yeah, that's the part that baffled me the most when I said it. It's like,
And I'm like,
I had Mike set up and so I'm like, what do you think?
yeah. And I was like, all right, let's go. I was thinking, now we can't do this for every episode. 100 episodes is a lot.
Yeah.
However, that first one was a doozy. So how about we play through a couple parts, or at least the beginning part,
All right.
and we'll start off with the old intro, and then we'll go into how awkward
Some of the old intro, yeah.
some of it. Yeah. All right.
All right, here we go.
China.
Okay. First of all, how fucking long was that intro?
I told you. That's why I changed it.
And that wasn't even the entire intro.
No.
You started kind of midway through it.
I think more than halfway through, yeah. It was a very long intro.
Very long intro.
Had a little
But
bit too much fun recording it.
A
Yeah.
little different.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little different.
Not
Sa-
as much as I thought. I remember it being more different.
Yeah, this was, I guess, I won't say more raw, more rock to it. In 2 years, your style has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I
and you
agree
can
with that.
tell in just creating that. But wow, to listen to that old intro is so crazy. Because back in the day when we first started, we used to be able to listen to the intro before we started the show.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So it wasn't like now where we just start and
Yeah,
Austin
I do it
adds the
later.
music
Yeah.
and stuff afterwards. We used to play the stuff as it went on for some
true.
fucking reason. So to hear that,
I
is
felt like
wild.
it like, put you in the mood, but now
Kind of.
just seems like a waste of time.
That's long.
Well, before it used to take us like 6 hours to record a
It
show.
did. It so did. All right. I hope everyone's ready because I've listened to this episode a few times and it's
I
rough.
can't believe you have.
I have. It's
right.
funny. It's,
All right, all
it's
right.
rough, though.
Let's just, yeah.
All right, and now we're rolling. Yes. Hello, and welcome to the first podcast of Dumb All Over. I'm Tom.
Oh my God,
And I'm Austin.
Austin.
And we are literally just going to, I don't know what make this up as we go. What to say. Yeah. All right, so
Okay.
Well, at least that hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed at all. We're 100 episodes in and we literally just make everything up.
True.
But wow, that is so cringy, so
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah, it is.
And like you've always let me be in charge of the main part of the talking, and I had no idea what to say.
That's true. You have gotten a lot better.
It's like,
yeah, since the
like,
beginning.
yeah, now I'll talk, and that's fine. Back then, it's like, and hi,
And
this is literally. I'm afraid to speak the way that I normally speak.
yeah, yeah.
It was. I remember that day though. I really do. I remember being extremely nervous.
I bet.
And like, you and I have been friends for many years before that, so I wasn't nervous being around you.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that, like, what we were about to talk about, the shit that we've always talked about was about to be recorded. I sound so fucking nervous.
You were? Yeah, I remember. Yeah. All right, let's see what else happens.
So I don't know how to do all this stuff. This is
I
my
still
first
don't.
time
It's an
on a
understatement.
podcast. Austin, on the other hand, is the veteran here
With audio, not so much podcast, but yeah.
with everything that we're doing. And I'm sure that a lot of this is hopefully going to get cut out.
We'll see. We'll see what gets cut out.
I don't even know where to start.
I'll cut out all my parts that make me sound stupid.
Yeah, great.
That's also still true. Yeah, I still cut out the parts that make me sound stupid and keep the ones that make
I'm starting to think, I don't think we've changed that much.
Yeah, Tom was expecting a huge difference, and it's like, no, it's
Listening to you, and it's like, wait, you still do that.
yeah.
You just recently named another episode after another one of my fucking word blunders. It's still the same thing.
I did. I don't remember which one it was though.
Fuck, I don't remember. Wow. Balls just dropped too.
Oh my god. Must be the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody.
Austin and I are very deeply interested in the success of this country.
Great job, Tom. You know what? Could have said it better myself, to be completely honest with you. Could have said it any better myself.
You know what the funny thing is? You know what I remember from that first episode more than anything?
What?
It's the squeaky chair.
You hated that squeaky chair
I
so
did,
much.
Because I remember that when we recorded the next episode, the first thing I did was like, you're not sitting in that chair.
Yeah, I know. You kicked me off.
All right, let's move a little further into the episode and see what happens.
This is random, by the way.
Covered a lot more people, so that's good. And I'm
Yeah.
sure it saved a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, the final total is like up to 20 million people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that were covered, yeah.
Yeah,
Smart.
That's a lot of people.
But even the coverage wasn't that good. I mean,
No,
it's just ridiculous. Every other country
I know.
in the world, every other industrialized country in the world has healthcare. and we
I mean, I hate to always look toward Europe as the leader in all of these social issues, but at the same time, you know, France has had universal health care for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And it's worked.
But Europe's isn't even the best one. The best is up in Scandinavia.
Right, yeah.
Denmark, Sweden,
right.
they have the best healthcare.
I mean, that's pretty much Europe.
Yeah, I
I
guess so,
consider
yeah.
all that shit.
Tom also displaying his knowledge of geography.
Well, it is Europe. It's still, what is it called then? If it's not Europe.
Scandinavia.
That's
It's Northern Europe, yeah.
It's Northern Europe. Thank you, Austin. You know what, Austin?
We've been talking about healthcare for a long time.
We have been since the very beginning, apparently. It's funny how I said I hate to always make the contrast to Europe, but it's not true at all. I love making that contrast to Europe.
Not only that, it was the first episode. How many times could you have possibly made that connection to
I
Europe?
guess zero.
All right, hold on. Let's pick another random spot.
To Bill Clinton, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who also ran on a centrist platform. So, and then we had the, cult of personality, Mr. Al Gore,
Yeah.
who ran after that.
Yeah. Who?
They still blame Ralph Nader for that.
Well, I do too.
No,
And I blame Gary
Stop
Johnson as
talking!
well.
no.
Wait,
But
wait. I hear the first mention of Gary Johnson.
What?
Wait, shh.
No, please. I don't want to talk to you.
cult of personality, Mr. Al Gore,
Yeah.
who ran after that.
Yeah. Who?
They still blame Ralph Nader for that.
Well, I do too.
No,
And I blame Gary Johnson as much.
no. But how
That's
many
true,
people
though.
voted?
But that's true, though.
Blame
Gary
Gary Johnson for what? Not knowing where Aleppo is?
All right. Stealing like 3 votes. That's... Man, wow, we've been talking about Gary Johnson for 2 years now. That's crazy to me.
All right. Okay, let's see another
Who
random
was our...
spot.
I'm curious as something. Who was our first religious nut job?
I don't think we did that then.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it was just an hour of us talking.
Really?
it
Oh, it
was
was
good.
only an hour. That's right.
You got through a couple songs.
Yeah, no, I can play any power chord song. I'm good with the power chords.
So you got
I
Green
still
Day
really
down.
go
I got
power
Green
chords,
Day,
by the way.
Blink 182. Yeah, that fucking shit's down.
So you got a lot of stuff.
I do.
So,
Wow, I haven't
know how to
learned a
play
lot
more
in
than
2
the
years.
Craftsman Sex Pistols.
Still all I
Most
play.
likely,
Yeah.
most likely, I know more than 3 chords.
Yeah.
I know more than AC/DC.
That's
I
good.
can safely say I know more than AC/DC. That is 100% accurate. But I don't know as much as.
I'm not sure it's 100% accurate, by the way.
I don't think it's accurate.
Yeah, I don't think it's 100%
Like, I've
accurate.
learned a lot about music
Yeah.
in the time. Like, I can't play much more than I actually said I could back then.
Yeah.
I haven't really practiced much guitar, but I've learned a lot more about music. And AC/DC, maybe not a 3-chord band.
Not so much.
Maybe not a 3-chord band. I was a little rude.
Much as Roger Waters.
No.
Okay.
Wow, that was the most ham-fisted segue.
That is not a ham-fisted segue. That is a perfect segue.
Okay.
Never been good
We
at
are
those.
both diehard Pink Floyd fans.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Religiously. And I say religiously because we're not religious. But we do love Pink Floyd.
Yes, that's true.
And just recently it was announced that Mr. Roger Waters is going on tour.
Mister?
Which we have dubbed the anti-Trump tour.
Yeah,
which
it
is
is.
probably what it's... Is it The Wall?
No, it's not The Wall.
Is it his own stuff?
Some of his own stuff. He's doing all of Animals, I think.
All of Animals?
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing...
As a matter of fact, when he releases the pig for
Yeah.
pigs,
Uh-huh.
it has Donald Trump on it.
You see, that's fucking great.
And he has a big picture of Donald Trump on because he still has that giant screen,
Where-
even though it's not a wall now.
We got to find out where he's going.
He's going to the Barclays Center.
All right, so I see that we were really had interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Roger Waters touring list.
You know, it's almost weird to say, but our conversations back then were more like what we used to just talk about as friends
Well, of
rather
course,
than
yeah.
like coworkers.
Because what else? We didn't know what to talk about.
No, had no idea. I mean, like if you think we scripted anything,
No.
honestly, we've never scripted a thing. The most scripting that we do is we find a few articles to talk about. I don't pre-read articles. Austin doesn't pre-read articles. We pull up articles and we're like, the title is interesting.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that Gary Johnson bit is
That is
Scripted.
scripted, yeah. But that's only as of like the last 2 weeks.
yeah, it's the first thing we've ever scripted.
First and maybe the last thing.
And then I was thinking that, boy, if we scripted the whole thing, like, we would have a lot more outtakes
Oh, yeah.
than shows that I've edited that are scripted.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it's
I'm
like, wow, they get through a lot of that.
Yeah.
We can't even get through 2
Like,
minutes.
if we
of-
did what the Wayward Willis does,
Oh, no way.
we would not we wouldn't be able to do this show.
No.
Just because we're not that kind of creators.
Those 2 minutes or whatever it is with the Gary Johnson bit.
Yeah.
I have to cut out like
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure it's ridiculous. It is weird to hear us back 2 years ago, though.
Yeah.
To hear us, like, how coy, how shy we were.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't give a fuck what I said. We would talk about penises openly. We talked about masturbating and watching porn about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
A long way.
All right, let's listen to the very end.
We were both still in the closet at that
We
time.
were, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So let's enjoy it as much as we can.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.
You know what's also funny about
The
that
ending
ending?
hasn't changed much.
Hey, you know what else is funny about that?
What?
I still say we'll see you next week.
Yeah, you've been saying that since the
100 episodes in, and I still don't get it's an audio podcast.
beginning. Yeah, and you can't use the excuse that we were videotaping it because we hadn't at that time.
We had not. I don't
No.
think that started until like 7 or 8.
Yeah, something like that.
It was like a couple months in or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy. But to be honest with you, I expected it. I guess I hadn't listened to it in a while. It hasn't changed that much. We've stayed very true to
We've
ourselves.
just the topics we talk about are a little more focused.
A little bit more focused. I think
Not much more though.
Not really. We still don't script. We're much more comfortable than we were.
Oh yeah.
Now, granted, that was the first episode.
Yeah.
I mean, we wing every episode, but we were winging it beyond belief that time.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't even come to Austin's house thinking we were going to record anything. We were
That's true.
supposed, in my mind, we were going to be writing a new screenplay, which were, that was our thing
our
back
goal,
then.
yeah.
So man, I can't believe it's been 100 episodes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Almost 2 years.
I have to admit, this is like the people that we've talked to, the connections that we made. It's like a family.
Oh yeah.
I'm closer to some of the people that we've made contacts with. You know, I'll name only a few, and if you're excluded in this, it's not on purpose and
He
just
means it personally as a personal dig towards you.
fuck you, Austin. But like, you know, like Hannah and Ron and and John, Brody, we met for the first time today, and so many others, Jesse, and all these wonderful people that have come into our lives since we started podcasting. It's like my family. I'm closer to them than I am with my parents in a lot of ways. It's true. So
we agree with them about everything.
for the most part, yeah. It's the way that kind of works. So I ask for the final time in 2018, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, can't believe we made it to 100, especially after listening to that first episode.
I know. We should have stopped right there.
But I'm very glad we have.
Yeah,
and I don't think I could replace the experience I've had doing this show with anything else.
No.
And I hope, I don't know. I hope for more than 100 more, I think.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And
I
don't
hope
think
we get into Cogdis numbers.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We're not doing this for the money. It's not a money-driven activity.
No,
we do this for the pure pleasure of talking about the news. And I think I'll speak for Austin in this. It helps us decompress. It helps us forget about the fucking shit that's going on in the world. And that's kind of the purpose of our show. It was our way of venting to our own community.
I don't know if I'd say so much forget, but it definitely gives us, cope, that's a good word. Yeah. Or just a way to just like say all the things that we want to say.
Right.
And,
to a community that agrees with us.
And then just let it be. Like that's what it is.
Right.
And then,
like we're not up
we
for
have
debate.
new shit to talk about next week.
Yeah, exactly. We're not into the debates. There's a lot of podcasts that want open debates. Nah, fuck that shit. We want to talk to people who agree with us.
Well, I think, people who are interested in debate, that's interesting, but that's not what we are.
No.
We are here for people who are like us to kind of, communally freak out.
Yeah.
and the fact that we're like one, just one bad decision away from being a fascist country.
And I hope that we've achieved that. I hope that over the past 100 episodes, the people who listen to our show are like, if we can make a smile on someone's face through these dark times, I think that to at least to me, that's the achievement. That's kind of what I focused on, and I believe Austin as well. So yeah, man. I mean, here I don't have much more to drink, but here's to
I have a little bit left.
Yeah, I got a little bit more too. Yeah. Here's to 100 more. Wow. That was probably the best cheer that we've ever done.
There's nothing in the glass. And I think before we send it to pre-recorded Tom, I want to play a voicemail that was sent to us.
Oh, okay.
One of our favorite people in the world.
Okay.
And I'll let them introduce themselves.
Sure.
Hey, Double Over Podcast. This is one of your listeners, Hannah Pribble, also known as HPrib012. Just want to call and wish you guys a happy 100th episode. You guys have done a great job, and I enjoy listening to it every week. I think I've been a listener since about episode probably 3 or 4. I remember looking up the podcast you'd also like after I was listening to Cogdis, and I remember seeing your guys' podcast, and then I started listening to it, and I've listened every week now. I love you guys' segments you have. I love Twitter time, of course, and Tom's antics, and I love Austin's Bigly topic every week. I actually learned a lot from some of those Bigly topics. I also love that you guys bring on some of your other friends, Kevin from the Nerdy Things podcast and Steven for your Not America report. I really enjoy that too. And here's to 100 more episodes for you guys, and I hope you guys have a great break. And can't wait to see what comes next. All right, love you guys. Bye.
That was awesome. Thanks, Hannah. That's awesome to hear, and thank you, Hannah, and everyone else who has supported us through 100 episodes. It's fucking surreal that we're even here, and we are taking a break. Listen,
but you guys won't really notice because there's going to be interviews coming out every week.
Yeah, you guys are going to get episodes, but no new episodes are going to be recorded. Listen, give us a fucking break, okay? 2 years straight. We didn't miss a fucking week for 2 years in a row. Yep. So if anyone out there is like, fuck you, because we're tired.
Tom is getting very defensive.
We're
Because
very.
nobody said that. No, everybody.
Somebody out there was like, "Aw,"
No.
and listen, I appreciate you and I love you, but give us, man, we're tired.
Yeah.
There's
Well, the funny. Well, let's say this too. The funny thing is that yes, we're taking a break. We're not doing this show until our actual 2-year
it's like
anniversary.
4 weeks or something like
Yeah.
that. It's a month.
But I will be starting the new show on Twitch,
That's where I was going.
so it won't be much of a break for me.
Right.
That should be more work, I think.
So explain that. So whoever's listening will tune in.
Yes. So, first of all, I have to apologize for the people I mistakenly told it was starting early. I realized that I just didn't have time to put everything together before our break.
Sure.
And I thought the break was a great time because I could get, intro segments and all that stuff done while we're not recording, so I don't have any other obligations. But basically what it'll be is a noon to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Just me going over the news stories from the day over coffee, and it'll be the coffee break is the idea. And that'll be on Twitch. It'll be on the Dumb All Over Twitch stream, so don't tune into Tom's because he won't be doing anything. Or maybe he will, I don't know.
Politically, no. I
usually don't stream that early.
No, but I might, depending on like my school schedule, I might start opening up a couple morning streams on my personal channel too. But pay attention to Austin's at twitch.tv/StumbleOver podcast.
Yeah.
The entire name.
Yeah.
We will not be back with a brand new episode until I think, if I did the math correctly, January 21st.
Yeah.
I think that's the
That'll be
time
the day we come back. That'll be our official 2-year.
That'll be our 2-year anniversary. Yeah. It'll be the beginning of season 2, which makes no sense, but it's our show, so fuck off. Austin says he's been working on a new intro.
Oh, I have.
So so I'm looking forward to that. And when we come back, the Democrats will have taken the House officially.
Officially, yep.
And the investigations are most likely going to start. 2019 looks like it might be a very interesting year.
Very interesting, yeah. So
we're looking forward to being your news source for that, or at least being entertainment through it.
And if you have a Twitch account, you won't miss anything. So I'll be doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yep. Yeah. If you don't make a Twitch account, they're completely free. Yeah. You don't have to do anything that's paid. Just make a Twitch account for free, and then follow Dumb Over Podcast. And Austin will be streaming that. Also, because I have my own personal stream account, and Austin streams through that, we play games. We've been playing a lot more recently.
Nighttime on our channel is just gaming.
Yeah. It's just pure gaming. No. Some political jabs here and there, but it's not a politically centered show or anything like that.
That'll just be just that hour.
Yeah, to kind of relax and chill out a little bit. So 100 episodes
100,
down,
buddy.
And for those who are in podcasting world, Austin and I just shook hands. Anyway, that's it. I got nothing else. Anything else for you?
No, I'm good. I'm ready.
Thank you.
Take a break. Oh, and by the way, listeners, I'm also taking this break to write. I'm hoping I have 15 topics picked out already. So the Bigly topic will be coming back.
It'll be coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have, over this break, hopefully I have the chance to write out all of them.
Yeah.
So we'll have a running start into the new season.
I'm also going to be in charge of getting us back on other podcasts.
So you might hear us other
back
places.
On us, on our show. So it's going to be a fucking fun 2019. We're not going to slack. We're going to have a good 2019. And I'm looking forward to it. All right?
All right.
So thank you. Hopefully you'll come back from 101 and beyond, and we'll be back in 2019.
Yeah.
So have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy New Year if you celebrate New Year. I think everyone celebrates.
Whether they want to or not, the New Year comes.
Okay, there you go. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus. Fuck you, Austin. Once again, thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find us on Spreaker.com/DumbleOverPod. We're also available on iTunes. Just look up DumbleOverPod. We are on all the social medias, starting with Twitter @DumbleOverPod, Facebook @DumbleOverPod, and of course, there's Instagram. And you guessed it, it's @DumbleOverPod. We are also on Patreon, so check out our Patreon. At patreon.com/DumbleOverPod. And if you're interested in buying some merch with some special logos, You can check that out at tpublic.com/user/dumbledoorpod. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
This podcast is part of the Famous Original Podcast Network family. You can find us by going to www.fopnet.biz.